So,
And also about pinning videos, we should mention, yeah.
Thank you, dear. See, she's keeping me on task. Today it's a scattered mess this morning. So if you would like for the picture of myself and my husband, Kent, say hi, hubby, to be the large picture that you see so that you can easily see what we're trying to demonstrate for you, then hover your cursor over the picture where we are. You should see 3 dots or 3 ellipses. And if you put your cursor on that and click it, you should see a drop-down menu that has pin video. When you pin that video, then shouldn't matter what happens, we should stay the big picture. That's all assuming that you would like us to be your big picture. You're welcome to turn off your video if you would like, which will help conserve some bandwidth for you and maybe keep the picture a little nicer. And so as you come to a seated position on your mat, I've been, along with our other teachers, we've been kind of working our way through the body this week. And my regular students on the call know that I very much like to, I'll use one class and depending on who usually comes to those classes and the level of the class, I'll just take it up or down or add in poses or whatever. We keep the same focus and theme. And I've been finding as we've been teaching these videos online that we have students that are jumping around based on what their schedules look like, or I'll have students who will come multiple times throughout the week and they can't. I don't want to be repeating, so I've been trying to follow themes but not use the exact same one. So yesterday, if you were in my class, I know a number of you were there yesterday, we were working on happy hips and low back. And today, kind of a corollary to that is that idea of twisting. So as you come to this seated position on your mat, press down through your sit bones. And then push the sit bones energetically away from your heels if you're in a Sukhasana position. And just feel the pelvic rim start to tilt forward. If you notice that it's hard to get that curve out of the low back, then I really would like you to pop a pillow or something underneath so you can lift up with freedom through the mid and upper back using the abdominal muscles and the low back to help you find that tilt. It can be helpful to put your hand back there and find that curve on the low back and notice what your back is doing. Pay attention to the front, so bring your other hand to the front of your body and just notice as you move that pelvis, what happens. So we want the front hand to be moving forward and down and the back hand to be lifting up and away. Then pull the belly in and feel the front hand pull in as you do that. Keep that engagement to create a base for your twisting and your moving. Out of that, lift your spine up tall and let the shoulders relax. I was really tense yesterday and Kent was giving me a neck rub and a back rub while I was doing some cooking. And he was reminding me, release the shoulders down the back, release the shoulders down the back. So separate those shoulders, and then continue to lift up through the spine, pushing the sit bones away, lifting the heart, relaxing the head, and bringing the ears over the shoulders. I said that once and the student said, how do I relax my head? And what I mean by that is release any tension in your face. Just let your face get soft. You might even move the jaw around. We like to think of the face as a mask that we wear over our thoughts. And that mask can get tight. We hold our face in certain positions. So just relax the jaw, relax the facial muscles, and let your breath calm down to a nice even in and out pattern. So why do we do twists in yoga? Yes, we do it for spinal health. We do it, it does feel good on the organs. There's not really a lot of scientific proof for the idea that it's detoxifying, but anecdotally we can tell you that it can help if maybe you had a rough night last night or a little bit too much cheese or something, or just a tummy ache in general. But it's also a great metaphor for life. That idea that we twist, we set our roots down, and we can turn as we need to out of the base of that. And I hope that you see that as a metaphor for your life right now. With that idea in mind, knowing now what I've planned for class, something else walked you through that door. You had no idea what I was going to work on today. So think about what it is that made you roll out your mat sign up and come to class this morning. And then see yourself enjoying that, finding that, whether it's challenge, whether it's ease, whatever it is, see yourself finding it and achieving it in this next hour or so that we have together. And as you do that, bring your hands together at your heart center. Really cement that intention on both your head and your heart by bringing your thumb gently to your sternum or your heart, and then bowing your head and bringing the fingers up towards the forehead. They might reach, they might not, it's okay. Just creating that union between the head and the heart, reminding us to stay focused on our mat and our class for this next period of time that we're together. And as you inhale, lift the head up and let the eyes slowly float down and open. We'll start out this morning by bringing the arms out. We did this yesterday, so hopefully some of you remember this, eagle arms. I want you to stretch those arms out and feel the shoulders come off the back. And then exhale and pull the shoulder blades back onto the back. Draw the right arm under the left, crossing well past the elbows. And then wrap the arms around. Now remember, your arms may not wrap all the way, and that's cool. You just find how much twist can I bring in. Take a moment, noticing the shoulders pulled way off the back. I always wondered, you know, we hear about this as a shoulder opener. I thought, how is this an opener? I'm really pulling my shoulders in. It's an opener because we're opening up those muscles between the shoulder blades. And then as you breathe, I want you to think about pulling the shoulder blades back onto the back, keeping this deep twist. Now inhale, lift the elbows up, keep those rib points driving down towards the hips. Don't release the core of the body. One of the ways we hurt our spine and twist is we don't use our core. We just use our body to crank. So keep your thoughts on the core. And then bring the elbows back down. See if you can release the arms somewhat straight out. And then bring them back in, unwind, and roll those shoulders. Little intensity right off the bat. Switch those legs out, so whichever one is in front, make it tuck in on the other side. And then we'll do the same thing with the arms. Take those arms out long, and then draw the shoulders in. And take that left arm under, find your twist. Pull the shoulder blades back onto the back, tuck those ribs, engage the core as you lift the arms up. Look gently through the arms. And breathe. Now you should be actively pressing whatever portion of your hands are joined into one another. It might be hands into arms, arms into hands, depending on your length. It's okay. Release this just a little bit and then see if you can start to straighten the arms. They won't go all the way because they're wound around each other. And then draw the arms back in, unwind, and whatever way you roll the shoulders, roll in a different way. And then sweep the arms out to the side. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Notice, hopefully you feel some freedom in those shoulders. Exhale, the hands down to the heart center. Again, inhale, sweeping all the way up. Exhale, the hands come down to the heart center. And one more time, inhale, all the way up. This time we're going to twist to the right, but bring the arms to cactus. Normally, we would try to bring the hands down and crank. I want you to use your core to try to twist. Make that left hip sit down as you twist to the right. Take a few breaths here and notice if you're curling your spine. Lift your heart up out of the spine as you twist. One more breath. And on your next inhale, stretch the arms up and come back through the center. Press down evenly through both hip bones. And as you exhale, twist left and cactus those arms to the left. Press that right hip down and twist out of that hip. Now the low back does not have much mobility. All right, those are big, they're not meant to twist. They're stabilizers. The mid and upper back does the twisting, but it originates in the low back. Inhale, lift up. This time, cactus those arms down and lift with the heart. So we're lifting from the mid back. Inhale, lifting the arms up, and exhale the hands down to the heart center. Go ahead and bring your hands behind you and rock forward or roll to the side, coming off of any props you might be sitting on, making clear space on your mat. We'll come to a tabletop position here. And if your hips are at all tight, I want you to have a block or something to sit on in just a moment. We're going to start here from our tabletop with some great big hip rolls. I'm going to slide back a little so you can see both Kent and I. And so as you do these hip rolls, I want you to lean your body forward of your hands and bend to the right, and then take your booty way back by your heels. Lean your hips over to the left and swing all the way forward again. Make them great big hip rolls. Keep that whole body involved. We're waking up the outer hips here. And when you've done 3 of those, go the other direction. Just noticing, does one feel a little more natural, a little more comfortable to you? Remember, no judgment. It's just telling you something about the mechanics of the body. And when you've done 3 there, press back up to your nice solid tabletop. Knees underneath hips, hands underneath the shoulders. Stretch the right leg out and press through that heel, lifting from the back of the thigh, the right thigh. Then pull your belly up towards your spine and stretch your left arm out long. Big breath in and out here. And then drop the hand and the knee back down to the mat, finding your tabletop. Stretch the left leg out. Press the right arm out. And breathe. And then come back to your nice neutral table. We're going to add a twist here. So I'd like you to stretch your right leg out long and dig the toes in. Then take your left arm up towards the left for a nice big twist. And exhale, coming back down. Draw the knees and the arm back in. Take that left leg out long, digging the toes in. Press into the left hand, keeping the mid-body still. Reach up with the right arm. Nice big twist. And then draw the right hand back down to the mat. Before we go any further, we do want to enjoy some cat-cows to wake up the awareness in the spine. So we'll take 3 rounds of cat-cow. Lift your sit bones, drop your belly, lift your heart, pulling it forward. Pull the sacrum in and down, let the spine press up, and drop your head. Now if you didn't add the breath, as you inhale, lift the sit bones. As you exhale, you press the mat away. Keep going, inhaling as you drop the belly, exhaling as you arch and pull in. Remembering we're using both the core muscles in the front and the back muscles in the back for this move. And we want to build awareness all the way up that spine of our back. Noticing if there are any areas where we have kind of a dead zone. And if so, we want, as we move through our practice, to try to build that awareness. Wherever you're at, take 1 more round of your cat-cow. And then come to a nice solid tabletop. We're going to add to this by stretching that right leg out long. And then inhaling digging the toes in, inhaling the left arm up. We're heading to thread the needle. So drop that left arm down and through, coming onto the shoulder, laying the head down onto the floor. Pull the belly in and sweep the right arm so that it is in line with your nose. You're on your tented fingers and your elbow is towards the sky. Take a breath here, pulling your right hip towards the center of your mat, pulling your belly in. Now, you can begin to play lifting your right leg up and stretching through the heel, toes pointed towards the floor. Maybe that right hand comes up and reaches for the ceiling. Beautiful. Take a moment here to play with your threading of the needle. You can stay right here still and stable. I know some of you are bending your knee, reaching. Some are adding the bind like Kent is. 1 more breath wherever you chose to go with this threading of the needle. And when you're ready, stretch that right arm out long again. And then slowly unwind, coming back to your table and finishing off with a nice stretch. We'll come back to our solid tabletop and do it going the other direction. So stretch that left leg out, dig those toes in, press the left hand down into the mat. Sweep the right arm up, finding that twist again. And then exhaling, dive that right arm down and through. Again, come onto, you're on the head, but you're not smashing your head into the ground. The shoulder is taking the weight, and the core is holding you in here. And then tense your fingers and bring them in line with the nose, elbow towards the sky. Some of you will be here just trying to stop the rocking and the rolling, and that's okay. One of the ways to do that is to dig the left toes in and pull the belly in, push out through the left foot. You might be able to lift that left foot up and flex that foot as you press it out towards the sky. Keep pushing down into the right fingers as you float the left arm up. And breathe. And then go ahead and take a moment here to play freely with your threading of the needle. Your next breath, go ahead and lift your arm up towards the sky. Draw that left arm down towards the mat. Dig the left toes in. Sweep the right arm back up, finding that deep twist again. And then come back to a nice neutral table. Beautiful. If you brought something in to rest the shoulder on, go ahead and take it off the mat. If your hips are tight, I want you to have a block back by the back of the mat for this part. We're going to add a twist in the legs. So draw your left knee in closer to the middle of the mat and lay your toes flat. Lift your right leg up, knee bent, sole of the foot pressing towards the sky. Hold the belly up and then just pump. We'll get into the butt before we add a twist. So we're pressing that leg up towards the sky. Then draw the right knee over the left knee, find the floor. Take those feet as far apart as you can and begin to walk your hands back by your knees. If you want to prop, this is where you pop it underneath where your bottom is going to land. Keep walking backwards with the hands and come to a seated position on the prop. Now some of you might feel comfortable, even though this is early in the practice, dropping all the way down with the hips in between the legs, and that's okay. But don't be afraid to give yourself this space in the block. Once you've found that block, play with the feet and see, can you begin to inch those feet so that they come straight out like angel's wings. Keeping the hips still pressing away, that low back curve in, trying to draw those legs out. So we're getting into these deep outer hip muscles. And breathe. Now inhale the arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center, and pull the belly in as you do this. Take the right arm out in front of you and flip the palm towards the sky. Draw the right arm straight up in the air and bring the hand down the back, grasping perhaps your shirt. We're not going to take the time to get our strap here. Stretch that right arm out and take the fingers, left arm out, thank you. Take the fingers towards the floor and then sweep the arm behind you until finally you bend that elbow and maybe the fingers find one another, maybe they don't. Pull the right elbow up and the left elbow down. And breathe. And on your next breath, let those arms and hands float away from each other. Bring the feet back in by the hips if you took them out into those angel's wings. And then rock your weight forward, perhaps coming off of any prop or block. And find your tabletop. I'm going to turn so that you can see it from both directions here. So in your table, bend your left, keeping your left leg bent, and hopefully it's already bent if you're in table. Lift your left leg up so that your thigh is parallel to the ground. Try to lift your left foot so it's stamping towards the ceiling, and then pump from the butt. This comes from the butt. Don't let the back arch to pump that leg up towards the sky. Couple more pumps, and then when you're ready, bring the left knee back down to the mat. Draw the right knee more into the center of your mat. Lift the bent left knee up and over the right knee, finding the floor on the opposite side of the body. Take the feet nice and wide apart. Give yourself a big landing space. Grab a block if you want it back there, and place it right back and down. This is usually where Kat and I run into each other on our mats. Yay, we did it. And as you come up to this seated position, press down evenly through the base. Then begin to walk those feet. This hurts on a wood floor. Somehow I found the 2 inches that aren't covered by mat. Walk those feet out, trying to create those angel's wings that are equidistant. Take a moment here, and as you're ready, inhale and sweep those arms up. This time we're going to take the opposite arm out in front. So exhale the hands down to the heart center to remind you to pull the belly in. Take that left arm out, flip the palm towards the sky, pull the shoulder blade in, and then bring the arm all the way up and reach down the back. Take the right arm out long, flip the thumb towards the ground, reach behind you, bend that elbow. Maybe you just hold on to your shirt, maybe you find your fingers. Draw the left elbow up towards the sky and the right elbow towards the floor. Tuck those rib points and breathe. And release the hands, letting them float away from each other. Maybe add some shoulder rolls in. Work those feet back in by the hips. You can just grab them if you need to, pull them in. And when you're ready, you can rock forward, coming back through and finding your tabletop. From your tabletop, take your knees in, out, nice and wide, and your toes in. And then exhale your hips back and down. Really step the booty down as close to the heels as you can, and then release the front body down. So we've got a nice deep child's pose, opening up those hips. And take a few breaths in and out here. As always, you can make this child's pose a nice relaxing pose if those twists were a bit much for you, or you can stretch out and enjoy this. Very active. We'll take one more breath in our child's pose. And then as you're ready, inhale, coming back through a neutral tabletop. Take the hands one handprint further in front, tuck the toes, lift and press the hips back and find your first down dog. Go ahead in this down dog, walking your hips out. So bend one knee, straighten the other leg. Going back and forth, back and forth. Take one more breath here. And then let your gaze come forward, bend your knees, and walk up to a forward fold at the top of your mat. Go ahead and keep as much of a bend in those knees as you need to be able to relax the front body. Then inhale halfway up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. And exhale your hands down to your heart center. Inhale, sweep the eyes and the arms all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Lift through the hips and drop the head towards the mat. You'll notice that Kent doesn't like, his hands don't like to reach the floor, and so he's using a block. You can also just press into your shins, whatever works for you. Take one more breath here. And then as you inhale, straighten, lifting the hips towards the sky. Straighten those legs, let the hips, head drop towards the floor. And a little earbud issue here. Inhale halfway up. Exhale and fold. One more time. Inhale halfway, flattening the back, pulling shoulders onto the back. Exhale and fold. Now, if you're using a block, you're going to travel with the block. If you're not using a block, your fingertips are going to move around on the mat. So bend your right knee. Let the left leg stay straight. You should right away feel a stretch in that outer left leg. As you breathe, start to walk your hands, perhaps your block, off to the left side of your left foot. Relax the head, relax the shoulders. Keep the weight centered on both feet, all four corners. Walk the hands back to the center of the mat, straighten both legs. Pop that left knee, stretching through the right leg. And when you're ready, walk the hands off to the right side of the right foot. Breathe here. Think about lengthening through the spine, relaxing the head and neck. Walk your hands back to the center of your mat. And inhale halfway up. And exhale and fold. Bring the hands to the hips, pull the elbows to the sky. Flatten that back and rise all the way up. And exhale, hands down to the heart center. One complete side angle warm up. Inhale, sweeping the eyes and the arms up. Exhale, forward folding, letting the head drop. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale and fold. Bend your knees, place your hands, and for this first one, step right, left, back to plank. Roll the shoulders on the back, pull the belly up. Exhale, chaturanga, come all the way down to the mat. Lay the toes long, pressing the toenails in, pull the knees up. Inhale, rise halfway up for baby cobra. Exhale, press down, tuck the toes, press through table, and then to down dog. Taking 3 breaths in your down dog. Now remembering in your down dog, we want to shift that weight to the back of the body. So if you need to bend those knees, feel free to bend as you push the mat away. And with your 3rd breath on an inhale, look forward, bend the knees, and walk up, finding your forward fold. Inhaling halfway when you arrive. Exhaling and folding. Inhale, sweep the eyes and the arms all the way up. And exhale the hands down to heart center. Keep going with your side A. Inhale all the way up. Bring a little more energy and intensity. Stretch through the back as you exhale and fold. Inhale halfway up for Ardha. Exhale and fold. Perhaps you step, perhaps you hop back to your plank. Then exhale, chaturanga. Maybe you hover. And either pull through for baby cobra or up dog. Take a breath here, rolling the shoulders on the back, pulling the belly up. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, find your down dog. And take 3 breaths. And with your 3rd breath, go ahead and bend your knees, coming down to your mat. Grab whatever you're using for blocks and bring them into the mat with you. We're going to, now if you're using regular blocks, I don't recommend that you go to the highest height with the blocks. We want some stability here. So either have your blocks flat or to the 2nd height, but I really wouldn't go any higher, all right? We're going to take our blocks and press them down as wide apart as our shoulders. So if you're wondering where that is, place the blocks down on the mat, draw yourself over, and just come down. And if your shoulders land on the blocks, they're in the right spot, all right? Leave them right there and resist the urge to adjust their width as you press up and find a down dog. Hands on the blocks, lifting up, find a nice down dog. Now we're going to use these blocks like extensions of our arms. So as you press the left hand into the block, draw the right arm through and grasp your left leg. You might find your calf, you might find your knee, you might find your thigh, you might just be reaching. And if you can, bend that right elbow and turn this into a twist. If you're comfortable doing this with the hands on the mat, that's fine. It is more intense. Bring both hands back to the mat or your blocks. And as you press your weight into your feet and your right hand, bring that left hand in and through. Bend the elbow and turn it into a twist. Release the hands and exhale the knees and come down to your mat, finding a child's pose. And remember, in your yoga, child's pose is always great. I just need a minute here to catch my breath. How do I know in our society where we want to push, 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 push? If your breath is not nice and even, if you can't bring it back to that even pattern, then please take either a child's pose or another restorative resting pose. One more breath here. And then as you're ready, on an inhale, press back, finding a table. Draw the right knee forward so that you are in a low lunge. Now you'll notice my left knee is straight down to the ground. I'm going to dig my left toes in and take that knee back a couple of inches and lay the left foot flat. My right knee, it should be stacked right over my right ankle. Pull the belly in and lengthen through the heart. Keep all that length in the spine as you lift up, finding a low lunge. Draw your hands down to your heart center, and as you press the right hand into your thigh, twist to your right. Now slide your right hand back and anchor that right hip down. Bring the left hand to the outside of the right knee, and now twist. And breathe. Relax the shoulders. If you can hold this by scissoring the legs together, sweep the arms up. Notice how just that little change might have messed with your stability. Bring the right arm down and through and lift both arms back up. Cactus those arms, pull from the mid-back and create a little back bend here. Gaze goes up. Reach the arms up, coming to a neutral spine. Exhale the hands down to frame your front foot. Tuck your back toes and stretch into a runner's lunge. Breathe. Pull that heart forward, lengthen the spine by pressing the sit bones towards the heels. When you're ready, you can either step or hop switch. So the right leg goes back, the left leg comes forward. Draw that right knee down to the ground, remembering to take it slightly further back. Scissor those legs together, lengthen through the spine. Inhale and sweep the arms up. Bring that left hand down to the left hip. Twist, and then float the right arm to the outside of the knee. Left hand comes into the hip, anchoring it down, and you use that leverage to twist a little more deeply. Relax the shoulders and take the arms out wide. Breathe. Bring that left arm down and through. Bring the arms all the way up and then cactus those arms. And again, from the mid-back, little baby back bend. Lift the arms up to a neutral position. Exhale the hands down to frame that front foot. Stretch through the back leg for your runner's lunge. Take a breath here. When you're ready, you can press the left leg back, finding your plank. If you would like it, take the chaturanga, the vinyasa. Otherwise, press straight back to down dog. So if you're taking the vinyasa, you'll exhale. Press through to either baby cobra or up dog. Pull the belly in and lift, finding down dog. Take a couple of breaths. Now, as you're ready, lift that right leg up. We're heading to three-legged dog with a twist. Bend the right knee, flex that foot. Pull the right hip over the left. Breathe. Square the hips off, stretch the right leg out. Draw the right toes down by the left. Lift the left leg up. Bend that left knee, heel comes to hip. Stack those hips. Keep driving that right heel towards the floor. Square the hips off, stretch the leg out. Bring the left foot down by the right. Exhale, draw the knees down. Press back to toe crunching position for child's pose. Whatever you need. If that was a lot on the shoulders, roll those shoulders out. As you're ready, inhale, sweep forward, exhale, press the hips back and up, finding down dog. Stretch the right leg up towards the sky, curl the spine and pull the knee way up into the belly. Then exhale, stretch the leg, inhale, stretch the leg out. Exhale, pull the knee way in, curl the spine, and then swing your foot forward and place it in between your hands. Stretch through the back. Scissor the legs. Inhale. Sweep the arms up, coming to a high lunge. Now, know that if twisting in a high lunge is not in it for you today, just drop the left knee down to the ground and come back to a low lunge. Otherwise, if you want that challenge, stay up here in this high lunge. We're going to draw the right hand down to the outside of the right thigh. Press in on the right thigh and twist to the left. Then exhale and draw the left elbow over the right thigh. Hook elbow and thigh and stack the hands. As you stack, pull that right elbow up and the left elbow down. One more breath. Then take the left hand down to the inside of the right foot. Float that right arm up towards the sky. Another breath. And then let the right hand come down to frame the foot. And you can either press back and take a vinyasa or just meet us in down dog, your choice. Couple of breaths here. We're going to play with this extension again. So as you inhale, lift the left leg up behind you. As you exhale, curl your back, pull the knee way up into the belly. Inhale, stretch back and up. Exhale, pull that knee up and in, hover, and then swing the foot through. Now, if it doesn't make it, this is one of the things we talked about, how could we work on this? If it doesn't make it, you can always just grab that ankle and place it where you want it. Usually we end up about here, somewhere in there. You can just reach down with the same side hand and place it where you want it. All right. Go ahead, scissor those legs together, and you decide, am I going for high lunge or low lunge? If you're going for high lunge, inhale, sweep it back. If you're going for low lunge, drop that knee down. Your choice, honor your body. Left hand comes to the outside of the left leg and you press in on that left thigh. Use that to help you crank over to the left, draw the right elbow across, stack those hands, push out through the right heel energetically to help with your balance as you press the palms into each other, and draw the right lung forward. Bring that right hand down to the inside of the left foot and float the left arm up towards the sky. End of your next breath, float that left hand down. Stand well on the left foot and draw the right foot up next to the left. Shake the legs out a little bit as you forward fold here. Inhaling halfway, exhaling and folding. Inhale, sweep the eyes and the arms all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Check it all out and grab a drink if you need one. Yay. Kent always jokes that when I give people breaks, they're running and grabbing a drink, and he's like mopping off. You're not mopping off, that's good. All right. As you're ready, come back to the top of your mat. We're going to vinyasa our way down onto our mat. So find all four corners of those feet, press down evenly, draw the shins in and pull the thighs apart. Engage the glutes, lift up through the abdominals. Roll the shoulder blades down the back. Inhale, lifting the eyes and the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale and fold. Bend your knees, place your hands, and step or hop out, finding your plank. This time, exhale, we'll all chaturanga and hover, and then press straight down. Stretch out through the right leg. Lift it up, draw the toes behind you, press those toes into the ground. Stretch out through the left leg. Stretch those toes out, lay them down. Hold the feet in close to each other. Now, if you have low back issues here, I want you to go ahead and separate the feet a little bit. If your back feels okay, we want to squeeze those inner legs together. Keep the hands back by the rib cage. Inhale and pull up for baby cobra. And just press your blocks out of the way as you slide your arms out to fingertip cobra. Beautiful. Now, pressing into those hands, lift up through the mid-back. So we're pulling up and out through the spine here. Look to your right and dip your left shoulder. Come all the way back up, look to your left and dip your right shoulder. Come all the way back up, exhale, come all the way down. Bring your hands behind you and clasp your hands about mid-back. Yeah, and then press the hands towards the heels, straightening the arms and rolling the shoulder blades onto the back. As you keep all this energy in the arms, can you press the toes into the ground, lift the knees up, press the pelvis into the ground, inhale and rise up for a variation of a locust pose. Couple of breaths here. And then exhale and release the body down. Bring the hands in front of you, make pillows with your hands stacking one on top of the other. Doesn't matter which cheek comes to rest on the pillow. Bend the knees and windshield wiper the legs back and forth. Stretch those legs back out. We're going to head to another variation of locust or shalabhasana. So stretch the arms out in front of you and bring the knife edges of the hands onto the ground. So this is a shoulder opener as well as working the back. So as you stretch those fingers, those arms out, really karate chop the hands into the ground and have the thumbs pointed up towards the sky. Stretch back out through those legs and pull the legs energetically towards each other. Then as you inhale, can you draw the arms up off the mat, keeping the feet down? Then exhale, come down. Now we'll do the bottom of the body. So as you breathe, can you lift the feet? Keep pressing them into one another, stretching out. Think mermaid tail. Draw the feet back down into the mat. Now we're going to inhale and then lift both the front and the back body. We want this to really originate from this portion of the body. And then exhale and sweep it all down. We're going to do that one more time now. Put it all together. So with an inhale, lift the front body, lift the feet. As you stay lifted, can you rotate the shoulders and bring the arms back behind you, clasping the hands again. Press the hands towards the heels. Lift the heart a little higher. Exhale, release, come all the way down. Beautiful. Bend the knees, bring the hands back by the body, and just windshield wiper out those legs. Go ahead and making certain you've got your strap accessible, roll over onto your back. We're headed to Supta Padangusthasana, one of my favorite poses, a pose early on my instructor told me with my hips I should be doing every day. But what I want you to focus, and yesterday we did it in class, focusing on opening the hip. Today I want you to focus on the twist in the body. So draw both knees in towards the chest and grasp the shins. Then keeping the knees in nice and tight, take the arms out. We're going to add just a nice little easy twist here so you can compare. They can either be out in a T or they can come to cactus, whatever feels good on your shoulders. As you exhale, keep the knees squeezing and take the knees off to the right side bottom. Go ahead and let the knees come all the way down. We want the twist, not the ab work. Now for Ken, when I say this, he always kind of reminds me that this is letting her go down. Yeah. So he said, if my knees go down, my shoulder comes up, which do you want? And we're working on the twist. So wherever you feel the deepest twist in your body is what I want right now. And then inhale the knees back up and exhale them off to the other side. Beautiful. So really working on that twist. And then come back to center. Draw those knees back and grasp the shins. And we'll keep that right leg in nice and tight as we stretch through the left leg and lay it down on the mat. Keep pressing through the active left heel and take the strap, placing it around the arch of the right foot. We're going to transfer the straps so that they're both in the right hand, stretching that right arm up. And then exhale, draw the shoulder down towards the mat. Try to pinch my fingers. Yeah. But keeping the arms straight. Take a couple breaths here, working to straighten the leg and anchor the hip down into the hip socket. Don't worry so much about, is my heel pointed straight towards the ceiling? If your leg doesn't go there, that's okay. We want you to get it as straight as you can. Then, bring a micro bend into the lifted leg. Now take that leg out to the side body, anchoring the left hip down to the ground. Bring that leg back up to center. Switch the strap hands out and take the leg cross body. Now normally we really work on the hips here, and I really want you to feel it in the outer leg. I'm more concerned right now, we want the twist in the mid body. So think about the upper back ribs trying to smash, imagine a piece of paper under that rib cage, trying to smash that piece of paper with your ribs as your hips go the opposite direction, adding twist. You can have a bend in that knee and that helps. And then bring the leg back up to center, bend the knee, take the strap off, stretch both legs out, shake them out a little bit. Again, those of you that practice with me know that's my favorite part of this pose. Draw both knees back in, grasping those shins. And this time, as you hold the left knee and stretch the right leg out, really get length through that leg and lay it down, keeping it active. Grab the straps, place it around the arch of the left foot. Straps in the left hand. Hand up high on the strap, arm stays straight, or shoulder comes back down towards the floor. Then anchoring that left hip down, pressing through that right hip down, anchoring through that right hand and the right leg. Take the left leg out to the side body. You can have a bend in that left knee. When you're ready, draw the leg back up to the center, switch the strap hands, and then micro bend in the lifted left knee. Take that twist. Again, focus on the upper left back rib cage and think about smashing a piece of paper. You're twisting so hard with the ribs towards the floor. One more breath. And then bring that left leg back up, bend the knees, take that strap off and stretch both legs briefly out for a moment. Now draw both knees back up into the chest. Beautiful. Stretch your left leg out long. Draw your left hand up and over your right knee. Take your right arm out long, and as you exhale, take that right knee crosswise. The left leg can be on the ground. Again, we're just going for the deep twist. And if you rotate your hand so that it's on top of your leg, you can get a little more here. Now, if you happen to have a helper, one person can press down on the rib cage while the other presses out on the thigh. So this might be something, those of you, I know we have a couple of families or partners working together today. After class, you might try this on each other. And then come back to neutral, switch those legs out, switch the arms out so the left knee draws in close, right arm comes up and over, and then you exhale and draw that right leg cross body. Left hand presses down into the ground, try to relax the wrist if you can. And again, one hand, be careful not to tickle your partner if you try this later at home. Other hand presses out on the knee. Sorry, this is a hip. And breathe. Come back through center. Draw both knees in, grasp your shins, and rock side to side. Roll to your right side and press up to a seated position. Drawing the soles of the feet close together, finding a brief Baddha Konasana here. The soles of the feet press in, and the arms release, pressing down on the thighs, lifting up through the heart. Again, thinking about pressing the sit bones away from the heels, so resist the urge to rock and roll. Pull the heart through, press the hips away. Let the knees relax. Take a couple of breaths. Now you might want to have your strap available for this next pose. So bring your hands underneath your knees, draw the knees up close together, stretch your legs out, and bring your strap in. Keeping the left leg stretched out, bend the right knee and plant that foot on the ground. I want you to hold the knee so that you can actually draw yourself up onto the front of your pelvis and push the sit bones away from the heel. Nice active left leg pressing through the heel. Maybe you're flexing those toes. I have my right foot in too close. Can you see how my knee is going out at an angle? We want to lift that leg up, and you want to have the feet about hip distance or at least a fist apart at the very least, because we want to be able to get the weight forward and stamp down on that foot. All right. Take a big breath in and out here. And then go ahead and grab your strap. Place the strap around the arch of the left foot. For a lot of students, the full expression of this pose where we reach around and grasp and then lift is pretty intense on the shoulders. And so one way to get the same feeling and focus is to bring the strap, place it around the arch of the left foot. Then lift up through the heart. Drive that right foot down as you stretch out through the left leg. Now you might be able to transfer the straps into your left arm, making your arm longer. Stretch the right arm up and draw the right arm towards your left toes. Nice long back. I'm really stamping this right foot down to help anchor my hip. And here you can just reach for the foot, getting forward, or if your shoulder is past your knee, you might be able to begin to play with. Don't worry about getting the fingers to touch. Just draw the arms around and get that feeling of lifting up through the heart. And then wherever you chose to go, just unwind, unwrap. Take your strap off to the side. Lift that right foot up and over the left thigh. Bend the left leg, and as you roll onto your left hip, walk that foot back by the hip. Now we're working to press that right hip down towards the ground. If it doesn't want to go there, stick a blanket or a pillow, something to ground that hip down into. As you press through that right foot again, lift up, the hands hold the right knee, lift up with the heart. You might find for you today, what you're working on is getting that low back curve, pressing away with the low back, pulling the belly on, lifting the heart, and staying right here. If you want more sensation, then the left hand is going to hold that right knee in, the right hand is going to go behind you. If it's hard to put your hand back there and not lean back, I want you to grab your block and place a hand on the block so that you can lift up through the heart. Once you've got that stability, stretch the left arm up, twist to the right, and bring that left elbow down in between your right knee and your body. The hand can stay up, or to get a little more space, you might draw the fingers of the left hand towards the floor and twist. Couple of breaths. And then unwind those legs and stretch them out and shake them out. We're going to head back to Marichyasana and Ardha Matsyendrasana. So press through that right leg, bend the left leg. Now, if on the other side you were easily able to stretch your left hand and find your toes, I'm going to offer you a different position with your strap. You can bring the strap, I like to fold it in half so I have a bigger strap to aim for, and bring it behind my back in like a big U shape and set it down right by my hips. Again, make certain you've got at least a fist distance between your left foot and your right leg. As you pull that left leg in, shift the weight forward, coming onto the front of the sit bones. Hold that leg in and lift through the heart for just a heartbeat here. And breathe. Now, if you're going for that deeper variation, you're going to leave the right hand on the left shin. Those of you that want to do the strap around the foot, go ahead and place the strap around your foot and go for that variation we just did on the other side. You're going a little further here. Right hand grasps left shin. Lift up, stretch that left arm up, and as you bend, exhale and reach forward. Again, we're trying to get the left shoulder parallel or past the left knee. Then take that left arm around and find your strap by your leg. Stamp that left foot down so you can take the right hand away. Reach down, find your strap. Now you can walk your hands along the strap towards each other. I lost my left one. Until you get as close as you can get. Stamp the left foot down, lift through the heart and pull the strap, burst the strap, pulling the two ends away from each other and lift through the heart. Breathe. Whatever variation you took. Release your strap. Unwind the hands. Stretch the legs out and bounce them around a little bit. Swivel around so you can come down the long way on your mat again. And we'll take one last pose. So come all the way down onto your back. Bend the knees and take them wider apart than the chest. Flex the feet, stack feet and knees. Then reach the arms through the inside of the legs to the outside and find happy baby. Resist the urge to let the spine curl. Drop that spine down onto the floor. And as you exhale, draw the feet and the knees towards the floor. If this is too intense, remember, like Kent is doing, you can always do one-legged happy baby. In fact, if you like happy baby and you want to experiment, come to one-legged and stretch the opposite leg out, the one that would normally be bent. You'll actually find it will intensify it in a different way through the groin for you. If you took one-legged happy baby, be sure to do the other side. Now, some of you may be feeling all nice and warm and think, oh, why didn't you do this pose? Feel free, yogi's choice, drop that in right here. If, on the other hand, you're feeling like, okay, tag, I'm done, I need my Shavasana, draw the knees in towards the chest, grasp the shins, rock side to side, giving yourself that little low back rub. Just noticing if you tweaked your butt anywhere, if you tweaked that spine, using that awareness. If your back hurts a little bit after twists, usually what it means is that we did not use the core enough, the front body and the core all the way around. If you're ready for your Shavasana, go ahead and release slowly onto the floor. Take a nice deep full breath in, and as you exhale, drop your jaw, letting the breath come out. And a few more times until you feel your breath calm and steady. On as a transition. And then beginning at the top of your head. Scrunch up your forehead. Like somebody just said something that you just don't get. And then relax that forehead. Let those muscles melt. Wiggle the jaw around, maybe the nose a little bit. And then still the jaw, let the tongue gently float in and out. Draw the shoulders up by the ears, and as you exhale, release them down, perhaps rolling side to side, letting the shoulder blades come underneath the back. Pull the hip points up towards the rib points. You'll feel the pelvic tilt come in as you do this. And then relax the abdomen, letting everything quiet. Draw the kneecaps up towards the hips, contracting the quads. And then exhale and release that. And finally, draw the toes up towards your face, flexing those feet. And then release all the energy, letting the feet fall where they may. Some people find taking the feet a little wider apart here in Shavasana feels good. If this does not serve your back, bend your knees, bring the soles of the feet to the mat, and tent the knees in on one another. Bring the upper arms are externally rotated, palms towards the sky. And let your eyeballs start to feel heavy. Take a few moments here to let your Shavasana pose.
Bring your breath and your awareness back to the body. Feeling the breath deep and even. Begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes, the wrists and the ankles. And then gently draw your hands together over your heart, clasping the hands. Lift the palms skyward. Stretch the arms out overhead. If your knees are straight, then bend the knees. We'll all bring the knees in towards the chest, grasping the shins. You might take a little extra rock side to side here. When you're ready, press to your favorite side and use your upper hand and leg to gently and easily press you up to a seated position. Hands at your heart center, eyes softly closed. In our yoga practice, we use twists versus turns to help us find stability in the low body and be able to lift and move out of that anchored position. As I alluded to earlier in class, it can be a great metaphor in life. Finding that thing that anchors us down, it gives us those roots so that we can stretch up, lift out, and turn a different direction than we have before. I hope you enjoyed the practice on the mat and that you can take it off the mat and find ease in your body and in your play. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, hubby. I will unmute everyone. And so if you have any questions or if you'd like to chat about anything, we can catch up. You'll notice I have on my Bhante Choose Loving Kindness t-shirt. We are hosting a Bhante virtual meditation next Friday, and I would invite you all to come to that.